Log recording. 4:48 in the afternoon. It's still the 26th of April, 2024. We were in John City, Roseman, California. It gets to me at times when I have people who are supposed friends and family. They say that they care. They knew me a little bit, but then maybe they really didn't know me at all, and maybe I didn't know them at all. Kind of sucks. I'm dealing with that kind of an attitude at this point where I look at certain memes and I see people being down in down in the dumps, and then they announce it out there saying, "Oh, I'm so down in the dumps," and their friends going, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you." But I just throw my stuff out there, considering about how my emotional state is, and you don't think I'd get one damn remark out of these people? Not one. It's like, did I even matter a bit in their physical presence all those times ago? So now I'm just what? Nothing. Oh, but. Yeah. The damn head games. So all it is freaking damn head games. And that's all I kept saying is head games. Do people actually give a shit? I'm on screen I'm right now just kind of editing a few things so I can get it out, labeled up, and just post it on my YouTube. A lot of things happening in my life. You would think that if these people were actually close enough, family, friends, and everybody else, they would see how the hell I'm doing. But I suppose this is like whining. But I've seen the whining. Why is my whining different than anybody else's? Because I'm not supposed to whine? All the other cliques out there can whine and they can get the response. But me, I'm posting it out there left and right what's going on, and all I get is silence. It's like, why do I even bother? Why do I even try? Because nobody else gives a shit. No, I mean that. I'm not taking back. I'm not taking it back. You know, I'm at a point in my life where I'm too damn pissed off at people who are just too much of a false front. Just tell me, well, screw the well. You guys cared enough. You guys would have been saying something. You guys would have been monitoring me, see how the hell I was doing, and see what the hell was going on. You know, it would have killed them to make me part of their plans. Um, they wanted my help for anything, make me inclusive somehow, maybe part of their clique. I think that was the thing growing up as a kid. I never knew how to be part of the clique because I didn't know how to be them. I was always an isolator. It's like sometimes I ask myself, why do I want to? Because I wanted to be part of something, but then again, I didn't want to be part of something because I saw how screwed up they were in the first place. So why the hell am I doing this to myself? And yet, you be nice and friendly to me, but there's always the but. I mean, the butt of the old jokes at this point over here. More sincere. Then I said, screw it. I think I was still looking for something like almost like a family situation where I could feel like I'm part of something. But if I'm not part of something, then what the hell am I? If I want to be part of someone's life and try to care and do whatever I can, I think maybe I'm too much of what they would call codependent. I'm worrying about then to be part of a structure or support system that I would probably need for myself that I don't have the self esteem. Because it would piss me off when I see other people say, well, I'm friends with you and I like it. And I'm thinking to myself, no, this is whiner baby stuff. I happen to talk about it. It's Winder Baby they ignore. But the other person, they would flock to in the first place. And yet I get pissed off about it because I don't have that kind of situation. Sometimes I keep asking myself, no, if the people are committing, well, if I'm going to say this, I'll be pissing off the algorithms left and right, but the people committing suicide at this point feel that way about it. Isolated, alone, and I wonder if I feel like I'm part of them. Yeah, I'm not taking that one back. I'm not taking that back that observation at this point over here. Because this would be pissing off too many people, algorithms, and God forbid I should actually say something about the S word. Because it would scare the hell out of people. Death, suicide, the personal choice, the volunteer choice of saying screw life and throw it back at the God, and I'd have to deal with him instead of dealing with the people down here. It sucks, doesn't it? This screws up. This would flag every damn therapist out there. Therapists actually hear about this one. It's like, oh my God, we got to get law enforcement out there for health and welfare check. Is he still alive? Why do you care? Why do you actually care? Am I just another professional number, or do you actually care about another human being? Because I can tell you that some of the people who are so-called friends and family, do they care enough? I know some of them have got their hands full right now. They've got their hands full, so maybe they can't respond in time. And at that point, I know, I understand. You want to, but you haven't been aware because you've been dealing with your own little situation. I'm cope with that. I understand that. I know a few people in my life are doing that. Thanks to too overwhelming, and then they hear this other cry for help and they can't respond to it. Okay, fine. At least a little bit of acknowledgement once in a while just to say, yes, I hear you. And I'm still thinking about you, and I'm still dealing with this one here. And sometimes I feel like I'm saying, I wish I was over there to help you out. I didn't want to be a hindrance or a burden, but I wish I was over there to help you out. You know? I'm not saying, oh, I want you to help me out because I think. No, I wish I was over there to help you out. Get on my own little thing. Tell me that I would be getting out of my own self, my own lane, and into something else that probably would have either be benefit to me or drive me nuts. At times I'm not hip, I'm not happening, I am not chipper, I am not smiling all the time and saying, look at me, I'm enjoying life. You gotta look at me because I'm doing this. No, I'm not that way. And sometimes I'm not even pushing that idea down people's throats saying, well, you gotta pay attention to me because I want. Yeah, I want your attention at this point over here. Once in a great while, it would have been nice to have it. I mean, once in a while, I have a YouTuber out there who will say, I hear you. I know where you're coming from. And that's okay. That's cool. I'll hear from other strangers that I don't know of. But from the people I target, it's like, I'm sorry, who are you again? Oh, well, I thought you knew. No, I didn't. But you respond to the other people who are saying the same thing, but I am not just as special, right? Well, that's a little bit big of you. Well, congratulations. You just identified yourself as that way. Huh? Yeah. Clickish. If I knew you, if I had known something of you, if I had known you in life, in real life, as in, if I had been part of it, if I had been physically part of it, if I'd, would you even still cared enough? A nice hug every once in a while would have been nice when I physically meet, but then afterwards, I'm like, are you really a friend, or are you just really just an acquaintance out there? And I still have to convince myself that people out there who are busy in their life, still would say, yeah, I hear you. I can't answer you right now. A little acknowledgement would have helped. A hand offering out saying, what can I do? What can I do for you? What would you like me to do? I guess maybe the reward I'm looking for, rather than being active or probably being part of someone's life, that would mean both, beneficial substance. I know some people say, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get out of the house. And I do actually need to get out of the apartment. But I also need to make that commitment, don't I? Even from the so-called friends and family that I've made contact with, there had been at times I've had one guy who keeps offering to put me into a D&D game. I haven't done D&D since I was a teenager. But what drives me crazy is I have to be part of people that I don't know, and I'm uncomfortable, and I feel like myself, I really have to lower down the boundaries and feelings I have to feel comfortable enough for this. And another way I feel for those other people who are deciding, okay, that's it, we got to commit to the suicide again because we're not feeling it. Feeling terrified, feeling scared of commitment, being part of something, being part of something of their own little world. It's like trying to be rescued out of a prison a little bit, prison of mind, body, and soul. I look outside the windows right now, windy as hell. Part of my town is suffering through power outages and power losses. Collapsed trees. Winds are pretty damn fierce outside. I kept saying, yeah, it's not winds. Well, it is winds outside. I'm powerless over, which is nature itself. What about human nature? I'd like to be part of something. I still have to make the commitment to it. And I still blame myself for not being part of it. I'm still putting myself into the observer portion. Always observing and never being part of it. When you're in high school, when you're in elementary school and you're on teams, I always get picked last because I thought something of me said, "You're strange. You're last. Why would we want someone like you?" Fine, I'll just observe and sit down and just watch. See, that's what you do. You're not outgoing. Yeah, why is that? I wonder. You're very weird. You're very strange. You're very closed. Yeah, because I grew up that way. Maybe at one time in my life I was outgoing, a lot younger, trying to be friends, but also isolated like crazy. But I had very few friends. I didn't treat them very well. I didn't. I guess I was. It's not exactly wrapped up. It's too damn afraid of dealing with life on life's terms. If I want to put it into that adult context, me, I was just into my books and hiding from life and everybody else. You absorb a book, you absorb something else, you absorb this and absorb that. Absorb constantly, but participating? Was that a joke? Was that something I actually did? And if it did, I had to be forced into the situation. Or reluctantly make the decision to do it. Because I still wanted to be part of it. You ever been doing something that maybe you shouldn't have done in the first place? I mean, I've done that a few times. That would have put me in real hot water. Just to be part of a clique, just to be part of a group, you had to go outside your normal bounds and normal senses. I tried to be part of things when I was getting older, and I still feel more and more isolated because I didn't know how to act around people, or maybe my actions or reactions were a lot different than everybody else's. Maybe I am isolated. Maybe I am just not a people person. I'm not a magnet. I know people say, well, you're feeling sorry for yourself. Well, even if I happen to get out there, no guarantee there's going to be anything else happening out there that I might get sucked into. Or I might get afraid of getting sucked into something that I can't control or can't get out of. No safety measure, no safety door, no chicken exit, I called it. It's either part of it or you're not part of it. And why are you there in the first place if you can't be part of it? Why can't you be? Why can't you be? Why can't you? Yeah, I know that feeling. Gone through it all my life. I had to be part of something that was larger than life. I wanted to be. All my life I wanted to be part of that one. Only thing I knew how to be is a worker. Work on this, work on that, work, work, work. And feeling like I'm just reading a little article concerning about UCLA taking a hands-off approach concerning about people, students, young adults, protesting what the hell's happening in the Middle East. How splitting and dividing people left and right. And how types of people over there are going verbally at each other because they can't stand the viewpoints, ideologies, anything else related to it. What side are you on? It's like I have to be forced into a situation. What side am I on regarding friends, family, events, situations like this? It's like I had to be forced into a situation. So I am outside, I'm an observer. I watch, I observe. I see people trying to drive themselves crazy over situations totally beyond their control. And if I happen to say something about it, do it piss people off left and right? Here's something for you. Here's something for you. My shtick, my channel, deals with talking about my thoughts, my feelings, how I deal with death, how I deal with life, how I deal with in between, anything and anything else related to me one way or another. Anything I observe, anything I talk about, or living through. That's what my channel is. I deal with the emotions, I deal with the triggers, I deal with things that are happening to me and are driving me nuts. I got I got over 100 followers and I'm still scratching my head why. I've got a few people that'll still talk to me on cable, actually on the online, and then once in a while I'll actually meet somebody in live and just talk with them, in person. Hadn't been searching for it; it just happened. It took it a long while, but I'm saying what's on my mind. I'm saying hopefully the things aren't pissing people off left and right. But if I am, then I'm triggering something in them. But hopefully not to draw out anger and bitterness, rivalry, and everything else is saying that, how dare you say this to me? Who the hell you think you are? Somebody who's talking his mind, talking his head, and if it pisses people off, it pisses people off. If it pisses off the so-called friends and family out there who may get a chance to watch this damn thing, then they're going to have to tell me what's going on with them. If I don't get any communications from them, then, I don't know what the hell's pissing them off. What did I say or do to piss you off? And in real life and in the digital format. What did I do? Silence sucks. I wanted communication. I wanted to have some kind of feedback. I wanted people to tell me what's on them, what's on their mind, what's going on with them. What did I, what did I piss them off for? What did I not piss them off for? It sucks when I start to relate more and more with those who feel like they're more and more isolated. And then I try understanding that feeling and thought patterns. And then the general line that usually follows in that one saying nobody cares about me, so why the hell should I stick around here? Because who the hell's going to stick around for my funeral? But nobody around here is identifying with me, saying that they're my friend, their family, or somebody that cares about me. So let's just get rid of our life and just deal with the afterlife, and maybe, yeah. And I can honestly say that scared the living crap out of me when I did that at age 4 years old. 4 year old perspective. Didn't know anything about life except being how to be 4 years old and living under pain and confusion, and didn't know anything. I knew nothing. What I was growing up with health concerns, coughing my head off, oxygen tanks, shots all the damn time, blood work, how to learn how to hate doctors left and right. Then going through a surgical procedure that scared the living crap out of me, getting out of my damn body 3 times and coming back to Earth. It's a hell of a disconcerting situation right there that would change a person entirely. And have no adult try to figure out the hell, give me a straight answer. Even the spiritual clergy or anything else like that. Doctors wouldn't. I had to be a big boy. Shut up. Marianne, how come your kid's acting this way? Excuse me, I've been dead. How about you? You're not tough enough. Say that from my primary care physicians, the pediatricians. Oh, yeah, I had to be the isolator. So it's like, I hear it from the other people. If I happen to come across something like that and I'm reading, I'm like, if I happen to come across somebody who's going through that stage, I kept wondering, how come people didn't read the science? How come the people didn't understand what was going on? Was this person communicating, or they totally shut down entirely because nobody was listening? And therefore, just total silence and building up the pressure, and then it's the release of life. It's like dealing, if I'm going to deal with the geologic terms in this one here. Earth made of different rocks, different formations, different ways of reformulating rock and material that it's made out of. But it would give you that there's indications going on in its crust and in the mantle and also in the core by its own energy and its own dynamics. We get earthquakes and we fear something's happening. We get volcanism, we know something's happening. We get landslides, everything else is falling down and crashing down. We see the after effects, we deal with the after effects. But the previous effects of it, did we know what things are ready to go apart? Do we know that soil is loose enough where heavy trees get to be collapsed on people or on buildings, vehicles, on something? We're also changing dynamic energy. You got weather, you got wind, you've got liquid affecting everything, you've got the movement of the earth. Surely the earth has given you some science of things happening we still hadn't been able to identify. We hadn't been able to interpret. So put that into human perspective. Put that into a human perspective. And I guess it goes over people's heads. I guess something that intellectual goes over people's heads. Because certain things I associate and I equate with, my head's automatically doing the patterns on this one. And how do we do that regarding humanity to the individual? not just the group, but to the individual. How do we apply that? How do we deal with that? How are we supposed to? I talk about this stuff, probably goes over people's heads. Well, then, eventually, one of these here days, I'm not going to be doing the videos. I won't. Well, probably couldn't or can't. Either by choice, voluntarily, or involuntarily. If it's involuntary, I didn't have any choice. And if it was voluntary, there was a choice. The problem is, how would people interpret that? Oh, he's a big baby. He's trying to get attention. Hello, big baby. You feeling down? Yeah, thank you very much. I am feeling down. And what about you? Being irritating as usual? Oh, why should I care? Except I want to needle you that way. Oh, because you're also having issues with your own damn attention level, I take it. Nobody's paying attention to you, so you got to be the big bully at this point over here. And if you can't get positive attention, you get negative attention. Is that how it works? I mean, the other response is to do a finger or flip them off or to do something of that nature. How about throwing it back at them? Yeah, well, how are you doing today? Why should you care? I'm asking because you asked about me and you're doing it in a taunting way. I'm asking out of curiosity what's going on ahead of yours. What's going on in life? You want to share a story or two? Puts them on edge. Puts them on edge. So I'll be expecting a come around on that one. Said, well, yeah, I've got a problem here. You want to listen? Hey, I got time. You got time? Let's talk. And I guess in that way, um, turns it around, doesn't it? If I try to turn that around to other people, are like, how dare you? Well, excuse me, but you happen to throw that shit my way, so I'm throwing it right back at you. What's going on with you? You want to talk about it? I was talking about this other person over here. Well, you didn't make it clear enough or succinct enough, did you? You didn't specify what's going on, now did you? Well, I don't think I want to talk to you because you're too. Yeah, and so are you. So what's going on in your life anyway? I got hunger. I need to know what's going on. I don't want to deal with you anymore. You're. Yeah. But here's the thing: if I'm going to get really needy at this point over here, needing your attention at this point, I think I'll be needling you even more. What's going on with you? Because if I'm feeling that totally insecure, and some days I am feeling totally insecure, because I get triggered left and right. Oh, it would be nice to get a cyber hug or at least a physical hug from something, you know? Have to hug a dog, but sometimes that's not even enough. There's going to be times that somebody who's going to go through the emotional wreckage I'm going through right now, similar, maybe not be the same thing, but similar, is throwing out all the curves until something happens. And then everything goes silent. And then the upheaval happens. And I'm not talking about from the source, I'm talking about the upheaval from the reactions that there's silence. Because once we discover that something major has happened, the dynamic has changed entirely. Maybe there'll be thought patterns happening during that time where they're asking themselves, why didn't they see and read the signs? Why didn't they care? They'll give it 2 cents about. They'll give it 2 seconds about it, and then, who cares? What's going on with our lives? So it shows you how much people would actually care about you. And sometimes I'm getting that actually. I'm getting that in response. Well, you weren't part of my life. You didn't do this. You didn't. Were you? Was it offered? Did you actually invite? Did you ask? Did you insist upon? Or you just flat out just saying something. It's no wonder sometimes the people who have lost, the ones who committed suicide, they're the ones reacting and they're scratching their heads and they go off with their own work. But if they actually really were rattled by it, that's the ones you really got to ask. Where the hell were you? Where the hell are you all this time? Those people are the ones going to be asking themselves, why didn't they do anything about it? I got people that come and go in this apartment complex. They have their own lives. One person's been away for about a year, more than that. Come back. Don't even bother to say hi anymore. They're almost over here nearly every single day how the hell I'm doing. But that person just comes and goes and just doesn't bother to pay attention. And I'm still waiting for that door to open. Like, you were here a while ago, you'd come over here for something, one thing or another. If I had it, I'd give it to you. But you just drift away. Just a physical body. Okay, fine, be that way. And if they happen to go, I'll probably feel, you know, I'll probably ask myself, how come I didn't invest more time? But I'd have to keep asking myself in another situation, was I really desperate and needed their attention that badly, or did they just want their company even for a few moments to talk with? What's going on? That would have been nice to actually see that door offered. But if it wasn't and they're just walking by, do I have the actually right? Do I have the absolute moral authority or absolute moral right or whatever it would be called at this point, however you want to label it, to go into their family, to go into their face and say, you know, we used to talk, we don't talk anymore. How come we don't do that anymore? You disappeared, you came back, but the dynamics have changed so much that our level of comfort, our level of understanding, is just not there anymore. Yeah, I've been running across that with a lot of people these days. That's what gets to me sometimes. The dynamics always change, and sometimes I feel like either I'm not adapting to it, or it's not adapting to me, or something happened. But it's a hell of a thing to think about dynamics, how to deal with people, how to deal with friends that turn out to be acquaintances, family members that get downgraded at acquaintances to almost near strangers. They may know you by name, they may know you a little bit by face, but everything else, nothing. Would they care to see what's going on, or would they not care? Yeah, I was just for a question for you about life, on its own terms.